Iraq is sitting on a resource that could be way more valuable than all its oil, but it could also become its biggest liability. We're going to unpack a really interesting analysis that lays out two completely different futures for the country, and it all boils down to one thing: its people. All right, let's just jump right into the big question here because it frames everything we're about to talk about. Is Iraq's huge youth population a ticking time bomb, or is it their single greatest opportunity? The crazy part is, the answer isn't written yet. It all depends on the choices being made right now.
So you might be wondering, how did Iraq even get to this point? It's like a classic story, right? You've got two huge, powerful forces, and they're on a direct collision course.
Okay, so on one side, you've got this incredible surge of human potential. Just picture it like a rising tide. The population is growing fast, universities are packed, and every single year, there's a bigger and bigger wave of graduates ready to work. I mean, on paper, that sounds like a dream come true for any country, right? But here's the problem. That wave is crashing into a really harsh economic reality. See, Iraq's economy is still dangerously hooked on one thing: oil. And let's be honest, oil's future is looking kind of shaky, with unpredictable prices and global demand slowly slipping away as everyone moves to renewables. This isn't just a small issue. It's a huge structural weakness in the whole system. And this right here really sums up the core problem. On one side, you have all this talent, all this ambition. And on the other, a job market that's basically stuck in place, tied to a resource that's, well, not the future. So this isn't just a minor imbalance. It's a deep, fundamental mismatch between the country's people and its economy. And I really want to stress this point. This isn't just some academic discussion for a textbook. This is an existential threat. We're talking about the future stability of the entire country hanging in the balance here. It's that serious. Okay, so let's look at the darker path first. What happens if nothing changes, if this problem is just ignored? Well, this is where all that incredible human potential starts to look less like an opportunity and more like a ticking time bomb. The root of the issue is what experts call a skills mismatch, and it's a great term. Think of it this way. It's like training thousands of blacksmiths right when the first cars are rolling off the assembly line. The universities are graduating tons of students, which sounds good, but they aren't teaching the skills that the modern economy actually needs, so you end up with quantity but not the right quality, and that's creating a whole generation of young people who are overeducated but can't find a decent job. And the source material we're looking at puts it so bluntly, which I think is perfect. It says an expanding pool of poorly utilized talent becomes a liability, not a strength. And that's key. This isn't about blaming the graduates. It's a total system failure. When the system can't put its talent to work, that talent doesn't just vanish. It curdles. It goes from being a potential strength to a very real liability. So what does that fallout look like? Well, it's pretty predictable, and honestly, it's dangerous. You get a massive spike in youth unemployment, which naturally leads to a lot of frustration. Then your most talented people, the best and brightest, they just leave. That's the classic brain drain. Meanwhile, the government, which is already the biggest employer by far, gets crushed by financial pressure. And history shows us this is the perfect recipe for social instability. Okay, but that's the doomsday scenario. Let's flip the script. What if Iraq actually gets this right? What if they manage to unleash all that human potential and turn it into a powerful engine for growth? Well, their single biggest advantage is demographics. I mean, think about it. While advanced economies like Japan and Germany are worried about their aging populations, Iraq has the opposite: a young, energetic, and growing workforce. That is a massive economic advantage, if they can figure out how to harness it. And here's another thing. Because the economy has so much room to improve, even small changes can create a huge impact. Seriously, a little bit of investment in better job training, or making it easier for a few tech startups to get off the ground, that could create a ripple effect of productivity and growth across the whole country. So the big question is, where would all these new jobs come from? The potential is definitely there. You just have to look at the right sectors. We're talking about things like modernizing agriculture with new tech, using Iraq's location to become a hub for logistics and trade, getting into more advanced petrochemicals instead of just crude oil, and of course, building out renewable energy and tech hubs for a generation that's already digitally native. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but it's not going to happen by magic. It needs a clear, realistic plan. So what does that roadmap for reform actually look like? Well, the analysis boils it down to 6 really crucial steps. Number 1, you have to fix that disconnect between what's taught in schools and what employers actually need. Number 2, shift the whole mindset away from relying on government jobs and toward building a dynamic private sector. 3, use the oil money smartly to fund diversification, not just to hire more people for the state payroll. 4, accelerate the digital transformation, go all in on tech. 5, build industries that can actually export goods and compete globally. And finally, number 6, just make it easier for people to start a business, encourage that entrepreneurial spirit. So there you have it. We've looked at the 2 possible futures, the threat of just staying the course and the incredible promise of reform. It really all comes down to one big choice. And this really lays it out in black and white, doesn't it? Path A is stagnation. It's doing nothing and watching your greatest asset turn into a demographic time bomb. Path B is the road of reform. It's modernization, where that exact same asset becomes the opportunity of a lifetime. It's one decision point, but the 2 outcomes couldn't be more different. You know, if there is one single thing to take away from all of this, it's this quote right here. The population isn't the problem. The system that fails to utilize them is. It's so important. The issue has never been the young people, their energy, their ambition. That's a gift. The problem is the system that's failing to unlock all that potential. So the focus has to be on fixing the system. And so we kind of end up right back where we started, but now we understand the stakes so much better. The diagnosis is clear, the roadmap for what to do is there, and the 2 possible futures are night and day. The only real question left is, which path will Iraq choose?